Josephine Angolo. Our hands are not busy. Let's clap for her as she takes on the virtual mentor. Toastmaster Josephine, over to you.
I feel like standing for you and giving you a standing ovation. Toastmaster King Nora, well done. You are doing an amazing job. Kudos to you, ma'am. Well done. More strength and more grace to your ego. Well done. There is no giving up. Talking about giving up, there was a time I almost wanted to give up. I wanted to be educated. So I went to school. On getting to this school, I saw that it was not what I ever envisioned in my head that a school should look like. It was like a glorified secondary school. And I asked myself, do I turn back or I stay here? On a second thought, I decided to stay. If I have left, maybe I will be here today. If I have left that place, the next step of my life, I would have had the opportunity to take those steps because that was a stepping stone to the next level of my life. So, what is his name now? I'm totally forgetting his name. Sorry. One quote I wanted to talk about was, our greatest weakness lies in giving up. But the most certain way to succeed is always trying just one more time. Just one more time. I totally forgot the name of the person, the author of the quote. And Martin Luther best put it. He said that we don't actually need to see the whole staircase. All we need to do is to take one step. And today, that is the reason why we're here at Toastmasters. To improve on our public speaking skills, our communication skills, and also our leadership skills. And if that is the reason why you are here this afternoon, you are in the right place. You are definitely going to get all of this. But all you need to do is just to take one step at a time. Yes, my role for today is the Toastmaster of the day. The Toastmaster of the day or the Toastmaster of the evening is also known as the MC of an event. So, what am I going to do today? I'm going to be ensuring that we have a lovely and a wonderful time here today. And I'm not going to be doing this all alone. I have someone that will be doing this together with me. I already see him arranging himself. Yes, that he got my back. Yes. And this person is a friend. The first time I met him, I was like, oh, wow, is this Toastmaster Godwin? But before I bring him to the virtual podium, I would like to introduce him to us. Sorry, a few seconds, please. I don't want to bring him just like that. I want us to know him better. He is our general evaluator. Toastmaster Godwin is a brand enthusiast and a motion designer with interest on how things move on screens. He's passionate about breaking complex ideas in tiny, understandable bits. He currently works with a design and advertising company in Lagos. He's also a past president at Ikeja's Toastmasters Club. If your hands are not too busy, please join me as a welcome to the virtual lesson, our general evaluator, Toastmaster Godwin.
Many thanks to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day. I must confess, I love your enthusiasm, I love your energy, and I say, keep it up. You're doing a wonderful job. Thank you. All right, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I will be playing the role of the general evaluator this evening. And my role is a very simple one. For those of you that are church goers, you can maybe see me as the general overseer for today's meeting. And if you're a project manager here, you can also look at me in that light. If this meeting were to be a project, see me as a project manager for today's meeting. All right, that said, I have a lineup of great people that I will be working with. We call them role players. And my role players this evening, they are ready. And if you are ready for them, please give me some thumbs up. Show me that you are ready for our role players this evening. Yes, I see that coming. Thank you. Our first role player this evening is somebody I have a lot of respect for. He's a man that wears so many hats. And this evening, he will be playing the role of the grammarian and the listening evaluator. That's 2 in 1. He's somebody that has been very up and doing. He joined Toastmasters International in the year 2018, and he's proficient in innovative planning. He's also the president of Lighthouse Prestige Toastmasters Club and the club growth director of Division F. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me. Welcome, Toastmaster Abubakar Gimba.
Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. At some point in time, I was even wondering, who is this man? Thank you so much for that enthusiastic introduction. Today, I will play the role of the listening evaluator and the grammarian. I would first start by talking about the grammarian role. What it entails is I'll be paying attention to the use of grammar today. At the end of the meeting, I will come back and provide a report of how well we did with grammar and some recommendations. I would also like to put the word of the day, which is on the chat box. It's relentless. Relentless. The word of the day is relentless, and it's an adjective that means increasingly intense. An example would be the relentless heat of the desert. Another example would be the relentless drive of the Festac Toastmasters members to achieve charter status before November 2020. Now, as for listening evaluator, my job is also to make sure that we listen well, but I will do that by taking note of what was said during the meeting. At the end of the meeting, I would come back and ask questions. This is a time where we have 2 things: me, the listening evaluator, me, and everyone else in the team. So we would do a competition. I would ask a question, you tell me if you heard or not. If you let me win, you did not listen at all. If you let me lose, that means you did a good job. This is the one time where the listening evaluator wants to do like that. So please make sure we listen well and we have an enjoyable time. The general evaluation.
Many thanks, Toastmaster Gimba, for relentlessly introducing your role to us and also telling us the word of the day. Once again, the word of the day is relentless. I like us to use the word lavishly. All right, people, moving on. Our next role player this evening is our timekeeper. Our timekeeper has been introduced before. She's a passionate young woman that we all love. And there's something unique about her. She's a serial entrepreneur, CEO of Nora King International, and a boutique company with interest in event management, real estate, and interior design. She is the founder and chief administrator of Lasit School of Interior Design. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Toastmaster Nora King. Can you unmute yourself, Madam President? Can you unmute?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right. Thank you very well. Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator, for that introduction. I guess you are meant to say the R counter, which is my core role that I'm taking today. I guess this our DTM,
Yes.
my Oga at the top is
R counter.
timer. Yes. So my role as an R counter is to watch out for the words and the sounds that gets in the way while we speak. The words and the sounds such as the M's and the ums and the oohs and the so, you know, and all of that. We should try as much as we can to avoid use them, interject them, is sort of slowing the flow of information that we're trying to give. In fact, oftentimes when I make speeches, I watch out for them. When I make my voice notes, I watch out for them. I listen. And oftentimes when you listen, it doesn't come out well. You find out where you say so, you're not even meant to say. What is the so doing in the speech? What is the So we should try as much as we can to avoid all this obnoxious sound and words. It doesn't help at all as a good speaker, which is why we are here. So we should try as much as we can because of our speeches, because of our evaluation, because of our whatever we are doing here. Try as much as we can to reduce, if at all we can eliminate it. We should try as much as we can to do that. Thank you, the General Evaluator.
Many thanks to you, Madam R Counter, for relentlessly explaining your accounting role to us. That was quite commendable. Well done. All right, people, our last but not the least role player this evening is our timekeeper. Our timekeeper, as far as Toastmasters International is concerned, is one force that we can. She's a force on her own. One-time president of our club. She has played so many roles, and she's the immediate past division director. Yeah, it's a big office. Please, people, help me with a resounding round of applause. Help me welcome DTM Chidi Madu Chukudi, a woman of valor, passionate about what she does. Please let me put your hands together for her.
Thank you most graciously, General Evaluator, for today's meeting. I'm already flying on eagle wings, hearing you introduce me in such an enchanting manner. Welcome, everyone. Today, as introduced, I will serve as the timer for today's meeting. What's my role? My role is to ensure, my duty is to ensure that we keep to time, we respect each other, and that every segment of this meeting happens and functions, takes place within the time that has been allocated to it. I will use my virtual background as my timing card. So as you come on the virtual lectern to speak, please pay attention. My video is going to be on so you can see my virtual background and see the cards as they change. We will have a table topic segment and perhaps a prepared speech segment. The table topic segment would span for a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes with a 30 seconds grid. That's 1 minute to 2 minutes, 30 seconds. What it means is when it's 1 minute, my virtual background will change to the color grid. When it's 1 minute, 30 seconds, you'll see the amber color, yellow. And when it's 2 minutes, you'll see the red color. Now this card will each stay up for 10 seconds. When it's 2 minutes, 30 seconds, the red card will come up again and stay on until you are done with your speech. For the prepared speech, a 5 to 7 minute speech, for example, at 5 minutes, you see the green card. At 6 minutes, you see the yellow card. At 7 minutes, you see the red card. Again, each card timing sequence will stay on for 10 seconds. And at 7 minutes, 30 seconds, the red card will come on and will stay on until you are done speaking. Please let's endeavor to stick to time. I should also mention that I will be timing the transitions, which means that Mr. General Evaluator, you're being timed, Madam Toastmaster of the day, you are being timed. Every role player, every speaker today will be timed. So please pay attention to timing. Watch out for the cards. I might not flash the green, yellow for the other role players, but you will see the red card when you have about 30 seconds to round up your role, giving you a report or introducing your role. Let's pay attention to time. We don't want to overshoot today's meeting. There's this saying that Toastmaster Josephine Agolo loves to say. I know I've heard it from Toastmaster Craig also. They say, oh, that an inch of time is an inch of gold. Correct me if I'm wrong. Or an inch of gold is an inch of time, but you cannot buy an inch of time with an inch of gold. So since you can't buy time with gold, please let us save time, if that's the correct way to put it, right? So Mr. General Evaluator, that's me and that's my role. I will come back at the end of the meeting or towards the end of the meeting upon the request of the General Evaluator and give us a report on how we have fared with time today. Thank you and enjoy the meeting.
Many thanks, Madam Former Didi, for relentlessly telling us about your role as a timekeeper this evening. I know you will relentlessly do your job. Yeah, you've sounded a lot of warning notes. Yes, I will try as much as possible to keep to time. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, you've met all our role players for today's meeting, and I just want to quickly point out something. Can we please rename ourselves if we are here and you've not renamed yourself? I see Galaxy SM something. Can you please rename? Let's get to know you by your name. All right, thank you everybody. And by the time we come back, we will be giving the report of whatever that must have transpired in the course of this meeting. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
Kudos to you, our General Evaluator. I must say well done to you and your relentless team for you guys relentlessly explained your role for us today. Thank you so much for job well done. At this time, I would like to reiterate because Toastmaster DTM Chidi actually told us what we are here to do. At Toastmasters meeting, we actually here to improve on our public speaking skills, like I said earlier, and our leadership skills. And at the meetings, there are certain things that we do that helps us to upscale in all of the skills. And that is why we have the table topics segment, which is the first segment of the meeting after the introduction of role players. And the second segment is the prepared speech segment. This is the time where speakers come to speak based on their pathways. Then the last part, and that is the part I love about Toastmasters, which is the evaluation segment. This segment is when we get evaluations from all that we are going to be doing today, where we did well and where we need to improve upon. And that is what we do at Toastmasters. And right about now, we will move to that first segment of our today's meeting, which is the table topics segment. Are we ready? I can't hear any voice. Are
Yes,
we
so.
ready?
We're ready.
Yes, so. We are ready.
We are ready.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you
yes.
very kindly. Now, the person that will be anchoring this segment is a lover of languages, smart and easygoing, French consultant for EcoBank Group. She believes in living life at the moment. Her philosophy of life is do not do to others what you do not want them to do unto you. Join me with a virtual round of applause as a welcome to the virtual lesson. Our table topic master, Toastmaster Shoma.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Evening.
Okay, please, can you hear me? Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. We can hear you loud and clear.
Good evening.
Okay. So, I'm very delighted to be taking this segment, and I have just 5 questions for this segment. Sorry, please just pardon me. Please pardon me. I'm very sorry. Like, this is my first time playing this role. So, okay, like I was saying, I have 5 questions for this segment. They're very beautiful and brain-cracking questions. And I really hope we're all going to give justice to these questions. So the first question is like this. But before that, I would love to say this. Judge Adia said something that, I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm very sorry for that. So like as I was saying, Judge Adia said something that everything you wanted is on the other side of fear. So I don't want us to put fear in whatsoever we are going to be, for whatever question that will be thrown our way. Remember that everything we always wanted is on the other side of fear. So put fear aside, and I believe we're all going to do justice to this question. So the first question is this, please. It says, what is your favorite line from a book or movie? What is your favorite line? So for people who are book lovers or a movie lover like me, what is your favorite line from a book or a movie? And to do justice to this question, I would love to call on CM Elemoro Ademola to please help us with this question. CM Ademola, please, if you are on the call, can you please do justice to this question?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, CM Ademola.
How's it going?
Fine.
What's the question, please?
I said, what is your favorite line from a book or a movie?
My favorite poem?
No, line. Your favorite line from a book or from a movie. What is your favorite line?
All right, my favorite line from a book is by Brendan something. I think it's Stephen Brendan that says, oh my God. That says, it says, never trade your authenticity for approval. And that struck me in a major way to say that, most times when we try to please people, we end up trading, our original self just to please them. At the end of the day, it's always disappointing. It's always disappointing when we still get rejected for the same thing that we were afraid of initially. So it's always good to be yourself and let people accept you for who you are. And those who won't accept you won't accept you. There won't be any need to waste your time with folks who do not accept you for who you are initially. So the idea that we should never trade our authenticity for approval, struck me as someone who is trying to be authentic, who's trying to be myself and want to live a life that's based on my values, my principles, and my own mind. So that will be that for me. Thank you so much.
Okay. Please, a round of applause for TM Ademola. Okay, he said, never trade your authenticity for approval. A lot of us, okay, that's a very good one. Stephen Brenda. Okay. Thank you, TM Ademola, for that insightful word. I think I like that. Never trade your authenticity for approval. I'm going to stick with that. Although I've always been someone who loves to be myself regardless. I don't mind saying my mind and doing my thing. Thank you so much, TM Ademola. All right, moving forward, our second question
it looks like we've lost our table topics master.
Guess it's network.
She's gone. Madam Toastmaster of the day, will it be fine if we move to the next item on the agenda and probably come back to this when she's back?
All right, Mr. General Evaluator. So we move to the prepared speech segment. As I can see, we have only one prepared speech, and I would like to bring to the virtual podium please kindly mute if you are not speaking. There's so much noise in the background, please. Thank you. Yes. So we'll move to the prepared speech segment, pending when our table topic master will back on the screen. So we have one prepared speech, and I would like to call to the podium the evaluator of the speech, just so he could give us the speech objective. And the evaluator is no other than Toastmaster Elumoro. I'm sorry, I don't have your profile with me, but Toastmaster Elumoro is my friend, my very good friend, someone I know very enthusiastic about what he does. And every time he calls, oh, this person just come and do this. He told me something that made me feel good about myself. He said, someone was lucky to have me. That statement made my day. Toastmaster Elumoro, the virtual podium is yours. As you give us the speech purpose of Toast DTM Chidi's speech.
I'm actually driving right now. I wish I could even park.
Is it possible we get the speech objective on the WhatsApp group so that I could read it from there? Madam VPE, is it possible?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
The VP just called in to say that her battery is low, that she earlier spoke with TM Godwin to take in, replace her as soon as if she's not able to stay to the end of the meeting. So TM Udu will be replacing her to complete her objective.
Okay. Our general evaluator, Toastmaster Godwin, can you help us with the speech objective?
Okay. I don't have the speech objective. What I have now is the table topics question.
Okay.
Can we? What's the speech category? What's the path, level, and project?
All right, so let me help out.
Can I go ahead now?
Okay. So if we don't mind, I think we can continue with table topics while we sort out the speech.
All right, can I go ahead and evaluate the speech now?
Toastmaster Lemora, you need to hold on. Let's finish up with the table topics.
All right.
All right, thank you.
All right. I will be.
All right.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much. Yes. I like this. I like it when I play the role of the table topics master. It gives me the opportunity to Yeah, it's usually a payback time for me. So if you know you've offended me in any form, now is the time. All right, question number 2 is, what's the weirdest way you've met someone? What's the weirdest way you've met someone? And to do justice to this is, let me look around. Let me look around. How many people do we have here? I'm looking for that Galaxy SM, blah, blah, blah. Person is running away. Okay, to help us with this, Toastmaster Gimba. Yes.
I don't know why I thought that, I don't know why I had this feeling that I am going to be your victim today. I knew it. Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity. I am typically not a hugger. You know, I don't hug. When I was growing up, the best way we show affection within our family is to shake hands, right? Even ladies. I grew up in the north, so men are not allowed to touch ladies that are not their mothers or their sisters or someone they could not get married to. And that is kind of the same thing that we did. So, guys, when we meet each other, we just shake hands, right? So one day, back in 2009, there was a football match between Barcelona and Chelsea. And I was, back then I was a Barca fan. So it was a very heated match. It was a semi-final. It was the match was headed to the Champions League final. Champions League is the ultimate prize in club football. So that evening, that night, it was a football viewing center, and it was just full of guys shouting and all that. And the match was very controversial. That match is probably one of the most controversial football matches in the world. So at the end of the day, we managed to win, as you know, as for Barcelona. And when the last goal went in, I just immediately, I was excited. I lost everything. I just looked around and there was a guy close. We just hugged each other, you know, just like that. And then after the craze was over and everything was done, we just sort of just released each other. And then we now realized that, oh boy, these are two guys hugging, right? So we just sort of just looked around. It was a bit awkward and weird. And to this day, to this particular day, this guy is my friend. His name is Usman. We call each other every day. There's a semi-final match, even if we're not together in the same state. But if we are in the same state, we would definitely go to watch a match together. You know, so that's my story. Thank you for this opportunity. I think you're muted. I don't know. I can't hear you.
Oh, pardon me. I was muted and I was talking. Toastmaster Gimba, that was relentlessly delivered. Well done. Thank you. And I think you deserve a resounding round of applause. Moving on, people. Yes. We have one more question left. And we have 2 people that I can choose from. Who should that person be? 2 people that I can choose from to respond to the one topic that I have left. Who should I pick from? Most definitely, Toastmaster Chidi is the evaluator. She's out of this. So I have between Toastmaster Nora and our Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Josephine, are you volunteering? You are muted, Toastmaster.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You saved Toastmaster Nora for today. All right. The question is, if you could be any supernatural creature, what will you be and why?
Thank you very kindly, our table topic master, Toastmaster Godwin, for that brilliant question. If I could be any supernatural creature, right? And what creature would that be? The supernatural creature that I know is God. And I don't think I can be God. I don't want to sound religious here, because at Toastmasters, we don't talk about religion. So what do I speak about? A supernatural. Okay, that should be, is rain a creature? Yes, rain is a creature. Rain was created by God. I would rather be rain, and I will reign like never before. Because at the moment, the way food is costing is really scary. I wonder how people are feeding these days. When I go to market and I buy an item, like last week, I bought a bucket of tomato for 2,000. And I went this week and I bought it for 3,500. And I'm like, what is going on? Why is food so expensive? And the man said, it is dollar. And I begin to wonder, what does dollar has to do with tomatoes? So I am thinking in my mind, probably it's because there is no rain. The rains have been trying to drop. At the moment, you can see that everywhere is cool and calm. It's as if it wants to rain. But for some reasons, it's not raining. So what I would like to be will be rain. And I will rain almost every day, just so that there will be enough food. If it keeps raining, there will be plenty of tomatoes. And tomatoes will be cheap. Food will not just tomatoes. Food will be everywhere because they will just be springing out relentlessly without anyone holding them to stop. Because once the sun is much, the food start dying off, and the little that is available becomes very, very expensive. So I will keep reiterating that the supernatural thing I would like to be is rain, just so that we could have enough and relentless food to eat. And it's back to you, our table topic master.
Wow, Toastmaster Josephine, well done. I think you deserve a round of applause for relentlessly and passionately telling us the kind of supernatural creature you would like to be. Well said. All right, people, with that, we come to the end of our table topic segment this evening. I want to say thank you to all our speakers for relentlessly doing a great job. Well done to everybody. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very kindly, our relentless general evaluator. See the way you are relentlessly wearing so many caps this day. Well done, sir. Great job. Thank you for that amazing section. Thank you to all of our respondents. You guys have shown bravery. And like they said, fortune favors the brave. At this time, we would like to vote for our best speaker for today. Is it possible we put up a poll, or we just send the best speaker to DTM Chidi Chukudi Maju? I just love your name. CCM DTM CCM. Can we send our votes to her, please, so that we can make it very snappy? Our best table topic speaker for today. All right, I think we have sent our votes. I will send my vote later. Okay, well done. Thank you very kindly, everyone, for voting. At this moment, we move to the prepared speech segment, and I would like to introduce the speech evaluator to relentlessly give us the speech purpose for our Toastmasters DTM Chidi speech. And it's back to you, Toastmaster Elemoro Ademola.
Thank you very kindly, Madam Toastmaster of the Day. I want to commend you for your swagger, your enthusiasm, and of course, the energy that you bring to everything that you do. To evaluate Toastmaster Chidi, I would be stating that she will be speaking from the dynamic leadership path, and she will be delivering an icebreaker titled "Finding Me." The icebreaker speech is a speech where you introduce yourself to the rest of the club members, and it's basically the first speech you deliver in Toastmasters. In this case, the first of many. So I wish Toastmaster Chidi, DTM Chidi Chukudimadi, all the best.
Thank you very kindly, Toastmaster Ademola Elumoro, for that succinct explanation of the purpose of DTM Chidi's speech. You did that relentlessly well. Thank you so much. At this moment, I would like to bring our speaker. She has earlier been introduced. This woman I admire a lot. In fact, I want to be like her. I don't need to grow up before I be like her. I want to be like her right away. I know that is very possible. Only if I try, only if I don't give up. I know it's very possible. Yes, I would like to bring her to the virtual letter, Toastmaster DTM Chidi, as she will be speaking on the topic, Finding Me, DTM Chidi. Finding me, DTM Chidi.
Thank you most graciously, our Toastmaster of the Day. You have a beautiful and enchanting way of introducing a person that person begins to feel as though he or she is just flying. Right now, I feel like the palm tree on my screen. You see the way they are flowing with the waves, just dancing through the winds and letting the winds just move them to every corner. That's how you make me feel. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. See, I'm not new to the Toastmasters family, and I'm not new to myself. How then can I be finding me? How can I be trying to find myself? If you ask me who I am, I will very confidently and relentlessly let you know that I am Chidi Chukudimadu. I am a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm an aunt, I'm a lover, I'm a caregiver. I am someone who is passionate about numbers. I love money. I love putting smiles on the faces of people. I love to spread kindness. And I believe that making this world a better place starts with me. On that note, I love to volunteer. I am someone whose love language is service. What this means is anyone who's able to do something, no matter how little it is, to make life easier for me and others, it's my kind of person. It's the person that I will appreciate and someone who I would love. You see, when I was younger, I grew up as a tom girl. Like I am that girl that would rather wear baggy shorts and sneakers than wear a dress. I would rather have my hair cut than wear a braid. I would rather move about without makeup on my face than try so hard to appear to be perfect, because perfection, as far as I was concerned, was overrated. I love to just be me. Just go with the flow. I had 90% men friends and maybe 1% female friends. Why? Because I thought girls were feeble. I thought girls, all they wanted to do was just sit about and chat about God. Oh, have you seen today? Oh, I love the shirt he was wearing. Hello. I didn't fancy that one bit. So you would always see me with the guys climbing the palm tree, climbing the coconut tree in my father's compound, climbing the mango tree, playing soccer, go and play volleyball, play basketball, even went back there. People didn't see this as games that ladies should participate in. I became a martial artist when everyone around me thought I was raving mad. Why on earth would you want to put yourself through such pain? Sometimes a broken knee, sometimes a broken ankle, but it didn't stop me because I felt that I needed to just be me. Did my parents understand? My dad could care less, but my mom wanted me to be more of a lady. And when it dawned on her that this daughter of hers was different, she aligned. And that helped me to be who I was back then. Growing up, I began to understand that I could actually be me in so many ways. There was no one size for Chidi. Chidi could be a girly girl. Chidi could be a tomboy. Chidi could be an introvert. She could be an extrovert. I mean, she could be someone who's happy one minute and decides to withdraw into her cocoon the next minute. And when I joined Toastmasters some 6-7 years ago, I began to identify with certain people who I felt were a kindred spirit. These persons would relentlessly seek to build the onion that was my personality to get to the real me. Why? Because I realized over time that people would naturally take you for granted when they realize that you're kind and that you mean well for everybody. They would take you for granted. They would want to take you for a fool. And most people just withdraw. But in Toastmasters, I learned to spread my wings and fly without fear of falling. Because there are always people who are there as wind under my wings. There are others who are there ready to catch me if I fall. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, I realized that I needed to find me. And one thing that became clear was, it was a continuous activity. I couldn't find myself in 1 day, 1 year, 10 years, 50 years. No. I had to be ready to put in the work that was required to find me. And so when I started the pathways journey, after going through the traditional path, I felt at a loss, like, why would I want to start all over? And the response was, there's never an end point in learning. Every point you get to is a starting point. If you have the hunger and the desire to improve yourself. And so I adopted the Kaizen mantra, continuous improvement. One step at a time each day. One onion layer after another. So fellow Toastmasters and guys, I'm still finding me. I'm not where I used to be. I'm not where I want to be. But I'm certainly enchanted about where I am currently, because I realize that I can find myself every day. So my charge to you today is, do not feel as though you find yourself. Do not feel disheartened if you feel like you are yet to understand what's your vision or what's desired of you. Every day is a blank sheet when you wake up. You write your story, how you want it to be told, and you will tell your story when you are ready to tell your story. But I'm Toastmaster of the day. You have the virtual lectern.
If your hands are not too busy, please, let's give it up for DTM Chidi for that relentless, beautiful speech. Thank you, DTM Chidi, for that wonderful speech. You relentlessly mesmerize us with that brilliant speech. Thank you most graciously. You have shown, and for letting us into your word, you have shown vulnerability. And vulnerability is not weakness. As Brian Brown best put it, vulnerability sounds like truth and feels like courage. Truth and courage aren't always comfortable, but they are never weakness. Thank you so much. You did a relentless good job. Yes, I would like us to have a 5 minute break for us to stretch our legs. Meet someone we have not met before. I think all of us here, we have met each other, I guess. Have we? But we can just still have, yes, I can see Toastmaster Godwin gulping some water. Please gulp some water. Let's relax. Let this beautiful speech just go into our system and relax. Shall we?
Yes, Madam Toastmaster of the day.
I think we have a guest. Is Galaxy not a guest?
Can we meet Galaxy? That's Mr. Kimber. Madam President, I can see your
Show her face.
Oh, wow. Shall we meet Galaxy?
My network was
Okay.
as well.
Well done. Okay, I should play us some music so we use it to simmer down.
I wish you
Simmer.
can have a music at
Yes, that's what I want to do.
the background,
Yeah.
just to enjoy ourselves, to cool off. Lemora, please. Don't make me laugh. God bless this person. That's right.
I'll tell you what you wanna hear. Keep my sunglasses on while I shed tears. Which time was the right time? I'm unstoppable. I'm a version with no face. I'm so powerful. I know me embarrassed to play. I'm so confident. I'm unstoppable today.
It's MG, nice moves.
I'm unstoppable. I'm a
Thank you.
virtual
Thank you.
I'm so powerful. That means that there is today. go today. I'm time to go today. I'm only around so you're strongly. I'm unstoppable. I'm about to be great. I'm so powerful.
Yes. I think our 5 minutes is up. Our timer, DTM Chidi. Our 5 minutes is up, right?
Oh, I was busy enjoying the music. I forgot the time. I it takes to assume that our 5 minutes is up.
I think our 5 minutes is up. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So, is that segment where we get to get feedback of all that we've been doing in the course of this meeting. Like they said, I keep forgetting the names of people who have quotes. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. And anything that cannot be measured cannot grow. And as such, we need to get feedback and evaluations from all that we have been doing today. And the person that will relentlessly be handling this part of the meeting is no other than our general evaluator, our relentless GE, Toastmasters to go Queen.
Yes. Many thanks to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, for relentlessly and continuously deliver on your role as the Toastmaster of today's meeting. We'll move on swiftly now into its evaluation. And to help us with this, help me put your hands together as I present to you Toastmaster, I beg your pardon, DTM Chidi Chukudi Madu DTM CCM.
Thank you most graciously, our general evaluator, for today's meeting. I will be evaluating the table topics segment. And I would want to start, is she here? Okay, table topics master is not back on the call. No. Or our original table topics master is not on the call. But our secondary, what's the word? I don't want to use. All right, let's leave that before somebody finds the address of my house and send village people to come visit me. There's actually someone on this call who enjoys sending village people, especially when they come for her. But I'm not going to mention names. Let's just go ahead with
I know the person.
Right. Okay. Table topics. I loved how table topics master started. She started with a smile on her face. She started with a smile on her face, introduced the table topic segment, and went ahead to tell us that she had 5 questions. And then she did something that was really very interesting to me. She laughed and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. It's my first time of doing this. I'm sorry." But she did not stop there, even though she had said it was her first time, and she had maybe just a second of somewhat of a panic attack or anxiety attack, but she relentlessly went on. asked her first question and called on a respondent. I love how she asked the question. She told us that these questions were reverting. They were questions that were brain tasking. So you have to think to answer them. And when I heard that, the first thing that came to mind was like, I hope it's not jam question. Like, you don't come and ask us question that will be wondering and looking for lifelines of maybe, oh, phone a friend, 50-50. But when she started asking the question, with the very first question, I just realized that, oh, right, indeed. I mean, these are questions that would make you think, but they were not questions that were difficult to respond. And I think somehow she tried to tie it to the theme of the meeting, which is give up or try harder. The first question that she asked, your favorite line from a book or a movie? And she called Toastmaster Ademola to respond to this question. Toastmaster Ademola, I love how you addressed the question. I didn't see your video on. I don't know if your video was on. I'm a network, not let me see, but I did not see your video on. I loved that you used a quote that came from a book, if I heard you correctly. And you said that don't trade your authenticity for approval. And I love this because this is something that everybody can relate to. And it's something that we all can learn from. I love the fact that even when you gave that quote and you found a way to expand on it. So you did not just give the quote and say, oh, that's it. You gave us that quote. You told us who said it, and you went ahead to expand on it. You elaborated and said that it was something that we all can relate to, and I agree with you. My recommendation for you, Toastmaster Ademola, is when you use a quote and you mention the speaker, tell us who that person is. Don't assume that we all know who the person is. So you said Stephen Brenda, who is he or who is she? Is it a man or a woman? It would be good for us to know who that person is, right? Overall, I thought that you answered very correctly. You stayed within the time. You used 1 minute 14 seconds. I think that worked well. And I also loved, I thought you probably just came on to the meeting and you were called to speak. You did not shy away. You did not try to excuse yourself to say, oh, I'm not ready. But you took it on and you provided feedback. So well done, and thank you to Toastmaster Ademola. The second question, the weirdest way you've met someone. And this was Toastmaster Abubakar. Toastmaster Abubakar, interestingly, I love how you started. When Toastmaster Godwin called you, you broke the ice in my estimation. So you said, oh, I just knew that he was going to call me or something in that line. And then you went on. I mean, we laughed. I laughed and I felt, oh, this is a good way to actually put yourself at ease and connect with your audience. I love that you used a story. I love that you used a story that was weird. And I was going through that journey with you. Football, guys, yeah, semi-final, and they scored a goal and you were seeing your excitement, you forgot it was a guy. You did not just go and tell us that story. You gave us a bit of a background to help us appreciate the weirdness of that meeting. So you are told us from the north, the way you greet is shake hands, you don't hug. Even the women, I mean, shake hands with the women. And here you are hugging a guy. And in the weirdest moment, you just realize like, okay, it's a guy I'm hugging. And I could imagine you adjusting yourself and looking around and pretending like, okay, that did not just happen. But I love how you were able to tie it all together. I love how you were able to also let us know that even though you're in different nouns, you've kept contact with the person, the guy. You don't tell us his name. I didn't know whether the guy is a Chukuma or the guy is a Tunde, or if the guy is also, you know, from the northern side, I also belonged or had that same disposition or handshake instead of a hug. It would have been nice to help us also understand where the other person stands, to give us a better, you know, appreciation of that situation, the scenario where you both found yourself. But overall, well done. I love that you used the story. I would not want to talk about it because you had already told us you're in transit and so your video could not come on. But here you are speaking. It would have been nice to see your face so that I could see your facial expression, see how your gesticulation works. Overall, well done. You're a good storyteller. Just keep telling stories and keep making us happy. The third question, if you could be any supernatural creation, what will you be and why? And this question went to Toastmaster Josephine Agolo. Toastmaster Josephine, I love that you repeated the question. I mean, what repeating the question does, it gives you time to put your thoughts together. And it also, for those who might not have heard the question, repeating it also brings that student so they understand what you're speaking to. You started out by saying the one supernatural creation you know is God, but you know you cannot be God. And so you look for something else. You said rain. And in my mind, I was like, rain. Okay. I love how you used a story of you going to the market, because I was thinking, how was she going to tie this? So you used tomatoes as the centerpiece. You went to market last week, bought it for a certain amount. You went to market this week, the price has gone up by almost 50%. And then you thought, why? Even though they've told you, oh, it's dollar rate, you're wondering, what would dollar rate have to do with tomatoes? We're supposed to be growing tomatoes in Nigeria, right? So you say rain. And when you say you rain every day, my dear, remember that, like, please, so don't rain every day. Even though, yes, we love rain, but too much of rain, we'll start now saying, please give us another thing. We don't want rain. God, please take this rain away. I thought about, okay, so why would you want to rain every day? But then that's what you want, because it's your story, and you're the one telling us what it is that your desire is. What I would have expected to hear from you, Toastmaster Josephine, is how is rain a supernatural creation? Yes, it was created by God, but I was trying to tie my head around with, because if I would address this question, and my thought was, all right, so there are so many things, maybe because Toastmaster God didn't use superhero, but it says supernatural. And I started asking, so what are supernatural beings really? What are supernatural creations? You chose one, you stuck by it, you told us a story around it, and I loved also that you use the word of the day. I'm not sure I heard the other two speakers use the word of the day, but you found a way to use it. What I would have loved to hear is, what would be the downside to it? So you rain every day. Of course, you know that when you rain every day, it's going to affect some other activities. Tomatoes cannot be the only thing we would live on. How does raining every day, or how does being a rain then affect the other activities that you will be involved in, or other people will be involved in? But overall, I love that you addressed that story in your own way. You answered that question in your own way. You picked something that everyone could relate with rain. You used the current weather. It's the August break, and you found a way to twist it to align to the story you want to tell us, the message you want to pass across. The weather has been cool. There's been no rain for a bit. The weather, it's almost like the sky is crying. Say, I want to rain, let me go. So thank you for finding a way to put that into your story. Now, I want to speak about our secondary Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster, Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Godwin. I love that you took charge, right? And you found a way of bringing in humor into your role as Table Topics Master. You did not go back to begin to introduce the role again, because the first Table Topics Master had already done that. But instead, most like you just continue from where she stopped. I love how you went about picking the respondents. So you picked on people, you did not just go and call someone, say, oh, come and speak. There was a bit of a background that you get before you called on a person, and that builds the anticipation. Like when you called Abubakar, you didn't know you were going to call Abubakar, but there was a bit of story behind it. It built the anticipation, and I wanted to know who you were going to call, knowing that there were a couple of people on the call. Now, when you called at Toastmaster of the Day, you built anticipation again by saying, oh, we all know that the TMQD is the, Table Topics Developer. So you took me out of the equation, and you were left with two people. Out of those two, nobody knew who you were going to call to speak. And it was almost like you were giving them that opportunity to step forward and speak. And our Toastmaster of the day stepped forward and spoke. Thank you, because you were relentless. Even though the network has been shitty today, it's been up and down. People have been thrown in and out of the meeting. You were relentless and you ensured that the table topic session did not truncate at that point because of the disconnection that our original table topics master experienced. So well done to everyone who participated. Well done for keeping to the time allotted for table topics, and well done for being relentless and providing feedback, telling us your story and letting us understand and share in your world. Well done, everyone. Our general evaluator, pardon me, you have control of the virtual lecture.
Many thanks to you, Toastmasters, I beg your pardon, DTM, CCM. Yes. Please allow me to put it to you that your table topics evaluation was scintillatingly well delivered, and it was very well detailed. I really enjoyed every bit of it. And as always, you are a master of your craft. If your hands are not too busy, people, I'd like us all to use the love emoji for DTM Chidi. Yes, let's show some love, people. Show some love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll move on now to the prepared speech evaluator. As you all know, we had just one prepared speech this evening. And the speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Ademola Elemoro. Toastmaster Ademola Elemoro, can you please come forward for the speech evaluation?
Thank you so much, Mr. General Evaluator. I am coming forward to evaluate distinguished Toastmaster Chidi's speech. I must begin by stating how she started that speech so naturally. The introduction was so casual, and the fact that she called our attention to the background in her screen was amazing. And I mean, it sent a positive vibe. I really loved the energy she brought to that speech. You know, she began with an energy that actually changed the whole enthusiasm in the room. And I got so engrossed in that particular story because it connects with me as well. Personally, I'm somebody who is still finding myself. I keep finding myself every year. So listening to her talk about herself the way she did, I actually forgot I was to evaluate that speech. And after 3 minutes, I snapped out of it and I started doing my job. So I really loved some of the things she also did. You know, she had good rhetorical devices. I've evaluated some of her speeches in the past. I noticed how she makes use of repetition and vivid word imagery. I love how she makes use of trad as well. Some of the places she combined repetition and trad together was where she talked about herself. Chidi could be, and that was beautiful. Whenever I'm writing, I always make use of repetition and trad myself. So I really connected with that speech in so many ways. I love the language. The language was very, very conversational. It was not too formal. And it's the kind of language that it tells you that this person is actually, you know, delivering the speech with the same way she converses with people. What else did I also see in that speech? I also noticed, you know, there was something that she said that people will take you for granted when you are kind. And in so many ways, I just love the content of the speech. This speech was rich in content. There was something Martin Luther King said when he said, only the brave can be kind. And the implication is that when you are kind, people they take advantage of you. And it only takes the brave to still be kind after that. And for her to you know, draw my mind back to that particular saying, and then say something that also reinforces the similar idea was very, very good. I think the speech is actually authentic, and I really appreciate the richness in content. And she kept saying, finding me, finding myself, which made the whole essence of the speech come to light. It reinforced the main idea behind the speech. It gave the speech a theme, and I think that was a very, very professional delivery. I love the allegorical use of onions. That was very, very good. I don't know what to say in terms of what she could have done better, but that was an icebreaker speech, and she went over the scale. So if I'm to give any recommendation, I could say, oh, maybe I would have loved to hear of a story, a particular hero in that speech, someone who was also instrumental in her finding herself. I would have loved to hear also a quote from a very popular person that connects, that also gives more credibility to the speech. Aside that, the speech is still 100%. I love our use of screen. She managed the screen so professionally, so energetically, so vivaciously. I don't know what else I could say, but the appearance in front of the screen was so natural, and the conclusion of that speech was also on point. Thank you so much, Chidi, for enriching us with that beautiful icebreaker, and I look forward to all of your other speeches as well. Thank you so much.
Many thanks to you, Toastmaster Elemoro, for relentlessly evaluating that wonderful speech delivered by Toastmaster DTM Chidi. I think you deserve a resounding round of applause. Come on, people. Come on. Thank you. Thank you. With that, we come to the end of the prepared speech evaluation. We'll now move on into role players' report. And first on my list here is I would like to start with the timekeeper. Madam Timekeeper, how well have we done with time? Are we on time? Do we need to speed up things? Please tell us how well we've done with time.
Right. Thank you. We have made good use of time today so far. We've made good use of time today so far. Our speakers, let me start. So let me start with the Toastmaster of the day and then move down. Even though I know these persons will still have on-screen time. I love that the Toastmaster of the day was conscious of time in her transitioning. Within her transitioning, she spent a total of over 11 minutes. That's from the moment she took charge of the virtual lectern, the introductions and the time between when she introduces one role player to the next. That's a little over 11 minutes. Our general evaluator have also spent a little over 10 minutes plus. He's still on screen, but that's also transitioning, introducing his team, and now the time he spent so far on the evaluation segment. Our listening evaluator spent 1 minute 12 seconds in introducing his role. The accountant the accountant spent 1 minute 10 seconds. I couldn't time myself because I was the timer. I couldn't time myself on how much time I spent in introducing my role. I love that the table topic segment also happened within a defined time frame, even though I don't have an agenda to know how much time was allocated to table topics, but our table topics master, intended Toastmaster Choma at first spent 3 minutes plus in introducing the role and giving the first question and the time it took for the first respondent to actually come on the virtual lectern to speak. Our first respondent, Toastmaster Ademola, spent 1 minute 14 seconds. Toastmaster Abubakar Gimba, the second respondent, spent 2 minutes 7 seconds. And the third respondent, Toastmaster Josephine, our delectable Toastmaster of the day, spent 2 minutes 26 seconds. Overall, all our table topic speakers kept to time. They spoke within the allotted time. So each of them spoke above the 1 minute minimum time mark and spoke below the 2 minutes 30 seconds time mark. So overall, we've done well with time, considering the amount of activities that we have on board. I believe that we'll also continue to pay attention to time and ensure that the meeting closes at the appointed time or before the allotted time of 6 p.m. So far we've done well, Mr. General Evaluator. So I would just encourage us to all keep keeping our eyes on time, finish up, give our reports within that time frame of 1 minute and 2 minutes. So minimum 1 minute and 2 minutes maximum. If we keep to that, yeah. Also, I was not able to time myself as a speaker, but my evaluator, Toastmaster Ademola, spent 3 minutes, 9 seconds in his evaluation, which also is within time. An evaluator has 2 to 3 minutes with an extra 30 seconds. That means he has a minimum of 2 minutes and a maximum of 3 minutes, 30 seconds. He spends 3 minutes, 9 seconds, and that, in my estimation, is also within time. Mr. General Evaluator, that's my report as the timer for today. Thank you very kindly.
Many thanks to you, DTM GD. Yes, I've always known you'll be relentless in your timekeeping role. You are very detailed. Everybody's time was tracked. Well done. Please, people, let's give our timekeeper a thumbs up emoji. Yes, thank you. All right, moving on to the next role player. Our next role player is the accountant. Please help me give it up for our one and only Madam President, Toastmaster Nora King. Over to you, Madam President. Can you please unmute yourself?
Good evening once again. My role as an accountant, I tried as much as I can to watch and listen to every one of us while we're speaking. Unfortunately, we do not have the arms and the arms like I want earlier. We were able to speak like a veteran. So it's a plus. Though at some time my screen went off. I don't know if such blunder were committed when I was not online. But as far as I can remember, while I had listened, I couldn't catch anyone say a word or use the sound that disrupt this meeting or the speeches. So congratulations to all of us. And we believe that we'll continue to avoid these obstruction and continue to give good and sound speeches. May we not relent in our efforts to curb this. Congratulations once again. Back to
wow. Whoa. In all my years, in the School of Engineering, we were taught that efficiency can never be 100%. As a matter of fact, that there's nothing like an ideal system. Toastmaster Nora, if you are telling me that there was no false filler in this meeting, everything went on well, then I'll take it that this is an ideal meeting where nobody made any mistake. Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, once in a while, there'll always be, those kind of moments where we defile. Yes, so a round of applause for our accountant, please. Moving on now to our next role players. He's finally at his destination. His camera is turned on. Please let me give it up for DTM. Yes, for the fact that your camera is turned on now, I've made you a DTM. DTM Abaka Kimba. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much. You don't know how that made me feel. I feel great. I can't wait for that day when I become a DTM. Yeah. Thank you so much for calling it into existence. I pray it happens sometime soon. Now it's time for the listening evaluator on the grammarians report. So let me start with the grammarians report. Generally, I've been very happy today as regards good grammar. I believe we really did well with grammar. Not a lot of hiccups, if I might call them, but I've picked up a few. For example, someone said, trying to make myself better. I think it should be trying to make myself better. Trying is a slang. It shouldn't be used in an official setting. Someone said the words and the sounds. I believe it should be the words and sounds. Using 2Ds is just repetitive and a bit redundant. And then finally, someone said so twice. In as much as I don't think it as a pause filler, but I think it's quite redundant. So one so is enough, not two so's at the same time. Other than that, I'm generally happy with with the use of grammar. But as regards the word of the day, you people were relentless. I picked up 4 people that used it today. Toastmaster Nora used it once. Distinguished Toastmaster Chidi used it 4 times, once during her prepared speech, which I think is quite commendable. Infusing the word of the day into your prepared speech it takes a lot of intelligence, and I commend the team Chidi for that. Then we have the 2 horsemen, the general evaluator and the Toastmaster of the day, who were going at it. At some point in time, I was even thinking, oh boy, why did I make this one so easy? I should have chosen a very difficult word, right? They made the run for the money. They made the word use very infused. And so Toastmaster Godwin used it 13 times and Toastmaster Josephine used it 16 times. So the winner for the word of the day is Toastmaster Josephine. Please give her a round of applause. It's not so easy. And just 2 more things. Toastmaster Nora used a variation of that word. She said relent. So the relent is a noun, is the root of the word. Relentless is a derivative, is a verb. Then Toastmaster Godwin used relent. He used it very beautifully when he said relentlessly. I think that was quite well done. And all the time that the word of the day was used, not once was it used wrongly. So I commend you all once again. Thank you. Please, let's give you a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, finally, the listening evaluator's role. I will just ask the questions and you give me the answer, right? Like I said, you don't want me to win this. So, someone said, without God, we cannot achieve anything. Who is that person?
Toastmaster Josephine.
No?
Our president, Toastmaster Nora King.
Correct. Thank you very much for that response. Thank you. Toastmaster Elemora's favorite quote is quite long, so I won't ask us to remember that, but who was the person that made this quote? Who was the one that made Toastmaster Elemora's favorite quote? It appears I'm winning. That person's name was mentioned more than twice during the course of the
What was the question?
Who made the quote?
Yes.
The favorite quote of TM Elemora. Who made that quote?
Like the original?
Yes, the original.
He said someone something.
Yeah, you know, Toastmaster Elemora's favorite quote is about originality and authenticity. Who made that quote? Stephen Bender, yes. Thank you very much. You have saved the day. My final question is, what is the one thing Tim Josephine would do to end world hunger?
Become rain.
Become a rainmaker.
All right, thank you so much. It appears you have listened. I am happy. So well done, everybody. I would like to hand control back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abubakar Gimba. Yes, that was an exciting report, and it was relentlessly well delivered. This word of the day usage war is not over. Yes, it's not over, and I'm sure you're still counting. Thank you. All right, with that, we come to the end of the we come to the end of the role players report, and I'll now move on to the general evaluators report. Overall, I like the kind of ambience that we've created for today's meeting. It's been very lively, relentlessness everywhere. I see everybody's smiley face, and I've been having fun. One thing we did very well again is with time. We are still within the allotted time. We started on time. We started at about 4:10 p.m. Even though we could have started at 4, but we started at 4:10 p.m. and I think that's quite commendable. I also love the fact that even though we are not much and we've had one or two glitches here and there, I love the fact that we've been able to. Can we please mute our microphones? Thank you. Even though we've had one or two glitches here and there, we didn't give up. Just like the team for today's meeting, we were able to improvise at the right time. Like the situation where the table topics master, due to power glitch, she couldn't join us again. We were able to move to the next thing. There was glitch there, we had to come back. So I like that we were very swift in our approach to moving things around. Well done to everybody. I also like that we've been able to double as we have people playing more than a role. Toastmaster Gimba was able to double as a sergeant at arms, grammarian, listening evaluator. Well done. And a host of other people playing different roles. I think that's quite commendable. And we as Toastmaster, that's one thing we've been training ourselves for, ability to multitask, ability to do different things at the same time. Well done. I see that come through very well. I also want to commend people that turn their videos on all through. Toastmaster Josephine, our Toastmaster of the day. Great job. Your video was on all through. I could see your facial expression. I could see your enthusiasm. Well done. Toastmaster Chidi, the same thing. Toastmaster Nora, the same thing. Toastmaster Waka Gimba, you told us at the start of the meeting that you won't be able to do that as a result of the fact that you were driving. And now that you are done driving, I see your video on. Well done. It shows professionalism and it sets that example for other people, other guests that will join us, that in a meeting like this, we should keep our cameras on so that people that will be delivering speeches, they will be able to read our facial expression and they'll be able to get that visual live feedback from all of those. Well done, people. What would be my recommendation? My recommendation is, in terms of role players, I always like it when we try as much as possible to have that sorted out before every meeting. Yes, I know for a fact that due to unforeseen circumstances, a lot of things happen. And when these things happen, we usually find a way of improvising. So I think we can do more in that regard. Let's find a way of having to sort out all of this before we start the meeting. Let's not over-labor people playing too many roles at the same time. I think if we can coordinate things behind the scene very well, we'll be able to put all the role players in place before the meeting starts. And I also want to plead with us that at every point in time, let's try as much as possible to always rename ourselves. I see Galaxy 831, I see Nokia 3310. The reason is, at any point in time, say if I'm looking for somebody, it's easy for me or any other person to just look up, see the person's name and say, oh, this role player is here, this person is here. I can easily call on that person to maybe do anything or even private chat the person. That's that for me. Overall, I think it's been a relentless meeting for me. I've learned a lot of things. I've enjoyed myself and I look forward to attending other meetings as well. Many thanks. My job here is done as general evaluator. Please allow me to hand over control of the meeting to our one and only Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Josephine.
Thank our general evaluator. Thank you most graciously. Please, can we mute if we are not speaking? Thank you. Yes. Thank you most graciously, our general evaluator. And thank you too to your team. You all are extraordinary. We hope to incorporate all of the wonderful evaluations that you have given to us this evening. Thank you so much. I want to say a very big thank you to everyone on this call. Even if we are few, it's really not about quality, it's about quantity. Personally, I have learned a lot. I totally enjoyed my time spent here. It's been a fantastic meeting. It's been a fantastic time. Thank you so much, Festac Toastmasters Club, for this opportunity to serve as the Toastmaster of the day. It's been a delight. It's been a pleasure, or a pleasure. Yes. Thank you so much. Please don't relent. There was a time I wanted to drop the back of this Toastmasters journey. But right now, if you ask me, like I usually say, it's dying until I'm 120. I'm still here. Thank you so much. And I think that Thomas Edison will fit best. I was looking for his name earlier on. Our greatest weakness lies in giving up the most certain way. Giving up. But the most certain way to succeed is always to try just one more time. Do what? Try just one more time. And in fact, the president and able job. Toastmaster Nora King, you will have
So thank you so very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Josephine, and amazing and fine and speeches and all the role that played today. It's an amazing time. Thank you. Thank you most kindly. I am being muted. Thank you so very kindly for that wonderful text. Really gave the speech coordination for me. Thank you so very much. I can't thank you really enough. At least we were here on time. You gave your best. You did not look back. You were smiling all through. In fact, that was really encouraging to every one of us. That was a light in sending out there, and it really affected every one of us. I also thank the IP Middle Class Education Inspector, as always. You have always been present. You have always been help, even when it's not on the scene. Professor, you always look out for us. You always show up. You always give your best, your advice, your speeches, your evaluation, and every other thing. But today, you really did an amazing work, the relentless one of that, especially trying during your evaluation segment. Most of the time, I was online, I was going back and forth to get what completing your evaluation segment, I was able to get some of the topics, most of the topics that were discussed during the table topic segment, and even your speeches. But I believe while I really did a lot, and I was able to have an insight while last. Thank you so much. And I always say that whenever I did it, I'm not by now. This time I have issues. This time it's not looking as if it's not like today. But when I saw you, days ago. Thank you so very much. Excellent. God look forward to. God look forward to. And my able president, Lighthouse President, Toastmaster Gabriel. You know how we do. Thank you so kindly. I really appreciate you, your effort, always trying to make sure that everything goes right. Being a tech person, I'm always on the case. Help us to prepare the link. This one, no more teachers. And you always go out of the way to give the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll continue to thank you as far as the job is concerned. So we will not relent because we continue to do this. Give our best and make sure that Festac is not some of the thank you. And my dear brother, just have I also have special. Thank you very special. Your efforts always go ahead. Father God see you. Irrespective of the fact that you do things, Festac always make out. That is not just physical, it's always present. Therefore, show your efforts, show your time, you also exhibit your skill. That makes you like bias and still not giving up while we are still give your consent that you are still going to. So I believe that I'm being muted. I don't know what's happening. So I believe that with you, the job is made easier. Seeing all your faces, I spoke with my Toastmaster of the day, my friend, Toastmaster Golo. She's always on, she's always listening to my status, and she's always very, very helpful. So whenever I see that, she has given her consent to always be Festac. It's very interesting. Even though it's clashes in our other meetings, she says she'll make out time to make sure that she attends the meeting at least once in a month. Thank you so kindly, and I look forward that with you, Festac has come to stay with your efforts, with your talent, with your time. It's going to be an easy task for all of us. I believe that whatever we are doing in life is just the little effort. The little effort we put in, every one of us, if we keep putting those little efforts, it goes a long way to making the job much easier and interesting. Okay? So let's look forward. That going forward, our meeting is going to be subsequently going to be easy, it's going to be interesting, and whatever that we are looking for in life is going to be easy for us. So as we go into this beautiful week, may it be an outstanding one for us. May we go not giving up in our individual life, in our whatever challenges that comes to us, we never relent, because giving up is not enough. We continue to improve ourselves, to make life easier, and continue to look up to God and trust God to help. Trust me, you never disappoint. So let's go into it being active, knowing fully well that He will never leave us and forsake us. And bless all of us as we go into this meeting. See you at our physical meeting which is date of August 2022. So I look forward to seeing every one of us here present. I'd like to see beautiful faces. I'd like to see have you around, and I will be glad to host you in our physical meeting. Until then.
Bye-bye. Well done. Most welcome.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Toastmaster Nora, this noise coming from your
Why were you
from your
trying
phone.
Were you trying to force or to mute me? Is the kid playing around? Yeah.
I'm not
Okay.
a host, I'm not a co-host, so I don't have the power to mute or unmute. But there is this noise coming from your end.
Is it TV and it's making noise? Well, it's all good. And it's all over.
All right. Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Chidi. Thank you, Toastmaster Godwin.
Chidi.
Thank you.
Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dear Maretta.
Maretta? Really? She just joined. Maretta, thank you for
I think we should start this meeting all over.
Hello, good evening,
Let's start this meeting all over.
So sorry, I started the meeting, but I had to get off along the way.
Let's. It's so sad we can't start all over again, Marita.
No, we cannot start all over again. I have just seen this Chidi's post on that we can look at it on YouTube. So I'll just go there right away.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate the support to continue to get stronger.
Thank you. Thank you for coming back, Marita. Jen Chidi, this damn Chidi, I love you.
Thank you.
Wishing you all a most productive week ahead.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.